not here, we pray for you. We pray for your coaches. And we think about you guys often, knowing that the guys that we have from here are leading you and working with you. So thank you for being here. If you don't have a home church, we would love to have you. Definitely love to have you anytime. You guys have been doing some great things here, and we've just been blessed just immensely. Isn't that right, John? Over and over. And I'm so grateful that God works when we're not even paying attention sometimes. This week, Miss Davis from Weaver Elementary School, she contacted me and was talking about the Blessings in a Backpack program where they send food home to children over the weekends. They had a need there, and I put out some stuff on Facebook about that for us to try to meet that need. But on Friday afternoon, I was sitting at home, and I got a call from a friend of mine who does outreach ministry at Edgewood Church. Roger Miller's his name, and he was talking to me, and he said, Matt, I saw that Weaver has a need for food. I said, okay. And he said he had helped do Blessings in a Backpack at Anniston. He's helped do it at Weaver. He was running that program for a while. He said, well, it's interesting that would come up today. And I said, why is that? He said, I've had somebody I know who works at a bank, and they said they have $1,000 to give toward a ministry, and they asked me what I should do with it. He said, and then I saw your post, and I just feel like God's telling me this is what I need to do with it. He said, I can give that money, and we can provide all the food for the rest of the year that they'll need. And he said, and I'll make that contact on Monday, and I'll call Miss Davis, and I'll set that up. Don't you love it when you don't have to work out the problem, that God can work out the solution? Amen? Amen. Because I don't want to lean on my own understanding. I want to lean on the things that God understands. And He's got it all figured out before I even start. And that's just one of the things this week that God has done. So today, what we're talking about is we're talking about God. Number one, He's real. And I want you to understand that. But He's never mocked. He's never shaken. And the biggest and the best thing is that He loves you passionately. God loves you passionately. God is real. That's the first thing this morning that I want to talk to you about. And God is real. John 1:1 says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. And you know what? The Word was God. I like that. I like that definite kind of answer. In the beginning was the Word. And the Word was with God because the Word was God. And He was real. And He was living. And He was breathing. Before you and I were even thought about it, God existed. But what's interesting about that is even though God existed, He still thought it necessary to create man. He thought it necessary that He needed to create us. And He did that to have interaction with us. And that's what we don't realize a lot of times in our life is God is not just some person sitting up on a cloud, but He's a very real being that wants to have a relationship with you and wants to be in your life and wants to be the center of your life. And then He wants to give you purpose. So God is real and He has a very big plan for you. But what I'm realizing more and more as I look around and the things that are said about God and the things that are said about Jesus is that a lot of people aren't taking Him very seriously. And one thing that I realized too is God's not mocked. Galatians 6:7 says, do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. Whatever man sows, he will reap in return. And I feel like when we say we believe in God, you know, everybody says, I don't say everybody says they believe in God, but a lot of people say they believe in God, but yet they choose to live their lives in other ways than living to please Him. It's like either we're trying to mock God, or we're trying to mock who God claims to be. We're trying to mock God for what He's done. Or we openly disrespect Him by choosing to do things we know that aren't pleasing to Him. There's things that you and I all know that if we're serious, we know we don't need to be doing those things. We know, number one, that they're not beneficial for us. I mean, it's not a new thing to say that most drugs are not good for you. Okay? It's not a new thing to say that lying and gossiping and telling stories that aren't true are not good for your life. Selfishness is not a good thing for you to participate in. This is not groundbreaking stuff, guys. These are things that are going to rob you of your life if you choose to live a life inside of selfishness. You're never going to reap anything. You're just going to have what you can hold in your hands and clench as tight as you can. And see, I wish that we could tattoo this scripture and be forced to look at it all the time. If anyone then knows the good that they ought to do and doesn't do it, it's sin for them. I wish we could tattoo that on ourselves. See, looking at that scripture, there's no confusion about what sin is. People all the time, they tell me, oh, well, I did it, but I didn't know if it was sin or not. Or I did it, and what's sin for you, John, may not be sin for me. And what's sin for you, Catherine, may not be sin for me. But what is simple is this. If you know it was wrong and you did it anyway, then that was sin. All right, let's just clear that up. If you had that tattoo on your arm, Torrance, you can just look at it anytime. You can say, okay, I know. I know this is wrong. I know this is right. And I think that we need to think of things like that. If I know it's wrong and I do it anyway, then it's a sin. Now I've cleared that up and there's nothing that I have to question myself about. So I think it's important that not only do we acknowledge that when we do something wrong and we know it's wrong, that it's a sin, but we also need to kind of stop making excuses about it. More than likely, you already know it was wrong, but I did it anyway. Let me share a scripture with you this morning. Psalms chapter 2 says, "Why do the nations conspire and the people plot in vain? The kings of the earth rise up, and the rulers band together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying," and I will show you what he's saying in just a second. Look at this. Why do the nations conspire and the people plot in vain? These are people who are trying to raise up against God. This is kingdoms that are being built against God. We see this now. Everybody doesn't like to even mention God, much less, boy, if you mention Jesus, it's a whole other realm of people who don't like that. But these are people who are totally against God. It says the kings of the earth rise up and the rulers band together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, "Let us break their chains and throw off their shackles." But I love verse 4. "The one enthroned in heaven, he laughs, and the Lord scoffs at." The Lord laughs. There's 2 times that it's mentioned in the Bible that the Lord laughs, and both times it has to do with people trying to rise up against him. It just doesn't make sense for us to try to raise our hand against the mighty God. And it says all these nations, all these people try to throw off the chains, throw off their shackles, and take on God. And God just sits there and he laughs. He just laughs. How many of you know who the comedian Kathy Griffin is? Kathy Griffin. She's kind of raunchy. I mean, I hate to say that. There's not a really better word for her. She likes to say things that make you kind of go, and she likes to be in your face, and she likes to do things that a lot of times of us just end up going, man, I just flip to a channel a little bit faster. Now that Kathy Griffin's on, I don't even take time to listen to what she has to say. If I was to hit a channel and she was on it, boy, it'd be flip. Moving right along. She just drives me crazy. Her whole personality, I think she could say less and I would still be annoyed by her. She's just one of those people. She kind of gets under my skin. But Kathy Griffin won an Emmy in 2007. And I want to show you part of her acceptance speech. I can't show you all of it because I wouldn't show that in church. But it says this. It says a lot of people come up here and they thank Jesus for this award. I want you to know that no one had less to do with this award than Jesus. And then she says some other things that are pretty vulgar. And then she goes on, "This is my God now. This is my God now. This Emmy, this trophy that some man built, this idol that I have in my life, this thing that doesn't really amount to anything, that's probably not worth what it was printed on. An Emmy, I mean, come on. This is my God now." But what she's really saying is, I am my God. And what I choose is important. It's me. See, what I know about Kathy is from this if we were in a smaller setting, I might have shared the entire book because it's pretty bad. But what I know about her is that she's lost. She doesn't know God. She doesn't know anything about God. And that's sad to me. And the other thing I know is she really doesn't know who she is. And so, out of her anger and her disappointment with life and the things that's happened to her, see, she grew up in a Catholic school, and she had some bad feelings about the way the Catholics treated her. And she just really got down and out about that. And she really, if you read anything else about her, she really has a lot of emotions built up about that time in that school. And so she says, this is my God now. And then tomorrow maybe this is my God, and this is my God, and this is my God. Don't you see the frivolous chasing after something of importance? This is my God now. That's saying a lot. In other words, this is what I bow down in worship. And see, she has no account of who God is. But one day, what I do realize is that one day, Kathy Griffin will die, or God will come back. And just like you and I, she'll have to stand before him. And she'll have that moment, just like I will, just like Austin will. We'll stand before God and we'll give an account for the things that we've done. And what's she going to say then? That Emmy's not going to be there anymore. And whatever else that she's had is not going to be there anymore. And she's going to have to look God straight in the face and say, this is why I rejected you. And then, what is her hope in that moment? She'll have none. So my only thought is that as a Christian, and as a person who claims Christ, is that someone like me, or maybe even me, who knows, will have the opportunity to really show her who Jesus is. And I would hope, man, please God, give me that opportunity. I would love the chance to tell Kathy Griffin about Jesus. See, people scoff at God, and they question His authority, and they think they're smarter than God Himself. And what does God do? He laughs. You know, the only other time that it's mentioned that God laughs is just like this one, is when somebody comes up against Him. The wicked plot against the righteous, and gnashes at him with his teeth. But the Lord laughs at him, for He sees His day coming. In other words, He knows they're going to trip over their own self. And why would you conspire against God? Why would you raise up against God? What has He done to you? And this wickedness that's come against God, and God just kind of laughs. All right, think about it like this. All you guys are in high school. Some of you are giants. I'm Jalen. And you guys going to call him. You know, you're 11 years old, 200 pounds. It's like, what happened? You know? Jalen has been big ever since I met him. And it's been many years ago. And he was probably as big as me then. So, and then you have people that were like me in high school. That if you could have poured water on and soaked up their clothes, they might have broke 100 pounds. That's the way I was. But have you ever seen the guy that's like 5 foot tall, he weighs 100 pounds, and he comes up to fight Jalen? Jalen, stand up for just a second. I hate to think you do that. Let's see how big Jalen. Can you imagine? All right, sit down. Can you imagine some guy coming up and shaking his fist, 5 foot, 100 pounds, shaking his fist in the face of Jalen and saying, I'm about to whip you and take you down? We laugh now. Imagine God up there, and there's men, there's nations, they're raging, and they say, we're going to take you down, God. And He goes, oh, no, you're not. See, we got to understand that God is so much higher than us and has so much power in us. But yet He does take time for us. And He does passionately love us. I think that we've either forgotten, number one, who God is, how powerful He is, how awesome He is, or simply we've just forgotten that He is. I mean, if Jalen told me he was going to whip me, I don't think I would forget him when he's in my presence. I wouldn't be around him and surround myself with him. Imagine Mike Tyson when he was in his prime. That guy was a beast. Imagine The Rock, somebody who's just huge, just muscle upon muscle. Imagine these guys. And if they said, hey, we're going to fight you, we're going to take you down, Matt. Next time I see you, I'm going to stomp a mud hole in you and walk it dry. Imagine that. So imagine you got somebody of that's that big, and then they're going to whip you and you just forget about them. Oh, I ain't worried about it. We're talking about the powerful Almighty God. And I'm not saying that God's up there and He's ready to strike you with His lightning bolt. It's quite the opposite. God wants to love you to repentance. But what I do say is I'm not going to disrespect Him in the process. Because He still is mighty. He still is righteous. And He still is a powerful God. And we need to start treating Him like He's a powerful God. And our lives ought to revolve around what we do, knowing that He is a powerful, almighty, unchanging, always loving God. And He is God. Imagine, though, just forgetting that He's in your presence. I hear people talking all the time. This is the one I like. Oh, I'm cool with God. What's that even mean? I have people tell me that. Oh, I'm cool with God. I'm like, really? And I recently heard a preacher, he was talking about omnipresence. You know what omnipresence means? It means that God is everywhere, right? So there's no place that you and I can go that God isn't. And he said that his mom described it like this. He said, my mom, when she doesn't know what omnipresence means, but when I told her and I began to explain to her, she said, oh, you mean that there's nowhere that God can go that He won't bump into Himself. And I thought, wow, that's pretty profound. So God is everywhere. He's always there. And so if He's everywhere at all times, then there's nothing in our life that we can hide from Him. And right now, whether publicly or privately, there's nothing that he's not a part of that you're doing. That could be good or that could be bad. There's nothing publicly or privately going on in your life right now that God is not present in. In other words, he knows it's happening. There ought to be a sense of awe about that says, I need to manage myself a little better. Even for me. I feel like I live a pretty straight life, pretty straight and narrow. I'm not really wild about things. I don't really do a lot of things that you go, ooh. And I still go, ooh, God's watching all the time. I think I need to be a little bit better manager of my time. I think I need to love him a little better. And then when I remember times in my life where I was doing things that were not pleasing to God, and that thought of God is watching really did kind of scare me a little bit. Because who knows? I make this decision like this, and I walk over here and I die. I don't know when I'm going to die. I've had people die in a moment that didn't know they were going to die. We've all seen the videos where somebody robbed somebody, took 3 steps, got hit by a car. It can happen. I mean, we've seen those videos where something crazy happens, something goes down, they take a wallet, turn around, boom. Can you imagine that 1 minute you're stealing a wallet, and the next minute you're in front of the Almighty God? Life does happen like that sometimes. So why wouldn't we live with that kind of accountability? So it makes me wonder how we can say, I'm cool with God, yet do the things that we do. I heard a preacher recently say also, he said that 50% of the men who sit in your church on Sunday will look at pornography sometime later in that week. That kind of makes me feel gross, to be honest. So 50% of the men who sit in your congregation will end up looking at pornography sometime later in the week. And we wonder in the church, why are we not powerful and why are we not making a difference? Because we don't know anything about righteous living before a Father and heavenly God. It's scary, guys. When I look across here this morning and I see all these different faces looking at me, knowing that 50%, or maybe more, or hopefully less, will do something that really just breaks the heart of God this week. I would hope that we'd be living in a way that we would just bring praises upon the heart of God. That we could actually tear off those chains and be different. When we talk about people, when we lie, when we flirt with other women or men other than our spouse, the reality is that God sees that. Oh, it's just innocent. It's just innocent. I just looked at this. One thing, the preacher we were listening to at the last men's conference on last Saturday, he said that he had a guy come up to him and he said, hey preacher, you can go see this movie that I just recently saw. You can go see it. It's only got one bad scene. It's only got one scene where there's nudity or something like that. And he said, I looked at him and I thought, well, how many does it take for you? Because I can be done in one. I can be totally somewhere where I don't need to be as soon as I put one image in front of my face. And it can just start a downhill spiral. Boom, 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 boom. And it's the same way with flirtation. Man, you better not be the kind of person that enjoys flirtation from somebody else other than your spouse. Because I tell you what, that's a path you don't want to go down. What do they say? They say sin will take you, or cost you more than you want to pay, keep you longer than you want to stay. What's the other part, everyone? Take you further than you want to go, keep you longer than you want to stay, cost you more than you want to pay. That's the reality. Is at first it's good. I take a little bit of it. Oh, yeah, this is fun to do with my friends. This is fun to do with my spouse. This is fun to do with the person I work with. Oh, this is fun. We're just lighthearted playing games. This is nothing. We hug a little bit. Oh, no big deal. Next thing you know, you're in full-fledged on running downhill, speeding bullet affair. Things are happening. You're losing stuff. Things are breaking up in your family. Your kids are looking at you wondering, where's dad? Where's mom? Why are they not together? And all of it started with something so simple that we could have avoided it had we just listening to God and Him calling us to be different. There's so much more for life than chasing one sin to the next. I'm reminded, there was a story about the painter Michelangelo. This is the Sistine Chapel. Look at all, it's hard to tell from this video, but look at all the elaborate paintings all across the ceiling, all across the walls. In every corner there is a level of detail that we don't even take pride in anymore. This doesn't even do justice how big this place is. And everything is done with such pristine attention to detail. And it said, and I don't know if it's true, but the story goes like this. It said Michelangelo was painting. And he was painting off in the corner. Imagine he's in one of those deep, dark corners at the top of the ceiling. And he's painting and he's painting and he works there for days and days and days. And he pays attention to every single detail. And he's just working. And the rest of the place is not painted yet. And somebody walks up and they say, Michelangelo, why would you spend so much time in this corner where no one sees it? To which he replied, God sees. God sees. That ought to be enough. Why do I do the things I do? Because God sees. Why do I live the way I do? Because God sees. God sees everything that I do. So how important is it for us to realize that the significance of what we do and how our character is developed through every decision we make? Does our life please God? Is He happy with what He sees? What does God see in you every day? What does He see when He looks at you? One thing I love is that God is never shaken by any circumstance. There is nothing, literally nothing, that can happen to you that's going to shake God again, going to knock Him off balance, and He's going to go, whoa, I didn't see that coming. I love the fact that everything that I go through, that God already knows I'm going to go through, and that He's already there before I get there. Don't you love that? Gary, I'm sure when you and Susie went through what you went through and you found out that she had cancer and all that was going on, I'm sure it shook you a little bit. And you were like, this is my wife. But isn't it great knowing you and knowing what I know about you, Gary, is that you leaned on Jesus. It's nice to know that we can lean on the solution to our problem before our problem even presents itself. And He's not shaking. I mentioned earlier that God laughs, and it's only mentioned twice, and both times it has to do when someone is trying to rise up against God. And I love it that He laughs when people have a ridiculous notion that someone could overpower Him. But you know what I know? If God is laughing when someone tries to overpower Him, when someone tries to overthrow Him, then I know that there is nothing too difficult for God to handle. He is not shaken by my circumstance today or my circumstance 30 days from now, 60 days from now, in my darkest moments, when the news isn't good. He's so mighty and so awesome that the idea of something overtaking Him is just humorous to Him. So we say things like cancer. We say things like poverty. We say things like unemployment. And God is not shaken at all. He's not scared of those things. He'll just shake out His couch cushions, drop a healing on you, drop some money for you. It's fine. He'll take care of you. God is never shaken. Look at this, Psalm 16:8. I will keep my eyes always on the Lord. With Him at my right hand, I will not be shaken. When I hear that verse, this is from Psalm. I don't know for sure that it's David, but I would guess it is. I will keep my eyes always on the Lord. With Him at my right hand, I will not be shaken. David had proved that time and time again. David went down into the den of a lion and he killed it with a club. Okay? This is David we're talking about. As a boy, he did this. Not as a boy like Jalen as a boy, but a boy like I am as a boy. Small and can't do much. Alright? Not all of us are man-childs. But he went down and he did that. And then he went and he said, oh, there's a giant. There's someone who's nearly 10 feet tall. And he's mocking the very God of Israel. And he says, you know what? Give me my sling because your armor is too heavy. Give me my rocks because your sword is too heavy. And I will go face down the giant. Because see, with God at my right hand, I'm not shaken. With God at my right hand, I'm not shaken. And some of you, I know that your families are difficult. Some of you, I know that your home is difficult. Things don't always work the way you want them to work. But what you got to realize is even if you don't have a father here, you got a father there. He's at your right hand. He's yours to take up. With God at my right hand, I won't be shaken. I'm calling the shots here. How can we be shaken? How can we fear? when we know that God holds it all together, who is the end-all destination for every man. We will face him. Every man will see him. And they'll have to proclaim that he's God. And I want to end this life by standing before him, and I want to live in such a way that when I get there, it's a warm welcome. Don't you? I want him to smile when he sees me. I want him to be happy about who's there. And I want him to tell me I've been waiting. I'm excited about that day. I probably won't care about any of those things I mentioned when I actually get there, but that's what I want. See, lately, I've seen people that have to go through things that are really difficult. They walk through dark places, dark valleys of life, places where it seems like life has really just stopped living for a moment. But in those moments, when we place our trust in God, we get to see who God really is in our life. If everything is easy for you, then when do you ever need a God? It's those difficult times. That's when you need somebody to lean on. Psalm 62, 5 and 6. My soul waits in silence for God only, for my hope is from him. He only is my rock and my salvation, my stronghold. My stronghold. I shall not be shaken. See, nothing shakes God. And if I'm in him, and he's in me, then nothing shakes me either. I live in total freedom of whatever tomorrow holds. Can I also tell you this, guys, that God loves you passionately. This is the greatest part of the entire story. We've seen that God is mighty. We've seen that God isn't going to be mocked. He's not going to be made fun of. But what I also know is that this great God, this powerful God who could be anywhere doing anything and is everywhere doing everything, loves me passionately. Romans 5:8. But God demonstrates his own love for us in this. While we were still sinners, that Christ died for us then. What does that mean? It means while you're doing whatever it is that you know is not right, whatever it is, the lying, the nastiness, there's people who have affairs, there's people who are on drugs, there's people who are doing all these things that they know are not pleasing to God. But when we're doing those things at that very moment, Christ died for us. When we were the nastiest of the nasty, God already knew it was going to happen, and he allowed Jesus to die for our sins. While we were sinners, God didn't wait to clean us up. Everybody always thinks that they need to come to church, they need to get their life right first, they need to figure it out at their own house, they need to get forgiveness for all their sins, and then they can go to church because they don't want to come to church like they are. And the whole time God's saying, just come like you are, and I'll do the rest. While you were still sinners, while you were still nasty, Christ died for you. What I know too is that he in his passionate love for us was willing to give us a piece of his very self. What do I mean by that? What do you mean, man? What do you mean God gave us a piece of himself? It said that God sent his son to atone for our sins. And when God did that, he knew that he was sending his son to die. Imagine this, parents that are here today. Listen to me. You love your kids. You love your kids. That's why you're here. Imagine sending them to a place that you knew they were going to die. And being able to do it. There's certain parts of town you wouldn't drop your kids off at night because you're afraid what might happen to them. What might happen to them. There was no denying that when God sent Jesus, his own self, his own person, his own son to the earth, he knew that he was going to die. And he said, okay, I'm going to do it anyway. That's what I mean by God loves you passionately. There's no greater love story than the love that God has for you. He's loving you even when you're not loving him. And what's great about it is that God is never confused about his love for you, even when you're not loving him. Isaiah 54:10, though the mountains be shaken, the hills be removed, yet my unfailing love for you will not be shaken, nor my covenant of peace be removed, says the Lord, who has what? Compassion on you. Woo! I like it. Though everything changes, I'm not shaken by your situation. Though everything changes, my love's not shaken for you. How many people in your life do you know that can make that kind of commitment to you? That says no matter what happens, I'm going to love him. Paul Washer said this. He said, the question is not, do you want to go to heaven? The question is simply, do you want God? Heaven is a great place. I want to be there one day. But more than anything, I want God. I want to know what God has for me. And see, just believing in God is not enough. We believe that there is one God, or you believe that there is one God. Good. Even the demons believe that and shut it. People want to tell you that believing in God is going to save you, but it's not. Just believing in God is not it. You're going to have to come before a mighty God. You're going to have to confess your sins. And you're going to have to ask for forgiveness. And you're going to have to ask Him to live in your life. And then you're going to have to turn away from your old ways and start anew. Are you going to be perfect? No. But that's what His grace is for. But just believing in Him is not enough. It takes a turning away from the way that you used to be. See, everyone has a pulse, but very few people ever live with a purpose. Imagine purpose like this. Imagine that you're an inventor. Tyler, you're an inventor. Be scared to know what you'd invent? But you're an inventor. And you've got this great thought in your mind of something that you could create, something that you can make that would make your life so much easier. And so you think it all the way through. You make all the plans. You draw it all the way out. You've got all of these advanced computers working inside of this robot that Tyler is creating. Again, scary to you. And you're making all of these strides, and you figure it out. You've got it with Jamie, and you're writing stuff down. You got it with Wes, and you're working the math out. You're getting it all figured out for you because Wes is the math guy. And yeah, I mean, I know I put up the volleyball net with him. It was great. Some angles and draw a line. Gotta be okay. I was thinking stretch a rope from here to there. Okay. And you work out these details, and you've got all these things going, and you figure it out, and you build this robot, and it's so advanced that it's just blowing everybody's mind. And you know every single thing that it's capable of. You know everything that it's capable of, and what it can do for others. And that's how God is with purpose. He knows every single thing that you're capable of. The Tyler's robot, if you never turn it on and you leave it in the corner, all you can do is hang a hat on it. And it's the same way for your life. If you never realize the purpose that God has for your life, you might as well just hang a hat on you in the corner. You've got all of these things that you could be doing, but you're not. See, no one ever turned on the power of the robot. You would never know the potential that it had. And God has that purpose for you. I want to tell you a story about my story of purpose started just like this. Exactly like this, actually. All of my life, I wanted to, pretty young, I say all of my life, but pretty young, I wanted to learn how to play the guitar. That was the thing. I want to learn how to play the guitar. I want to learn how to play the guitar. I want to know, and everybody would tell me your hands are too small. Your hands are too small. You can't. So for a long time, we kind of dealt with that, and it was like, oh, one day you'll be big enough and you can learn how to play the guitar. So 12 years old, I remember I was walking around in my grandmother's house, and I was snooping around, and I was probably into things I didn't need to be because I was there staying on a summer day, I'm sure. And I was just checking things out, and I'm looking in the closet. Never before had I noticed this. And in the corner of the closet, I see this. Almost identical to this right here. It is this guitar. And I see it sitting in the corner, and I'm like, that's a guitar in it. How have I never seen this, and why have I never been told about this? This is what I've been looking for. And that day, I asked my grandmother, I said, bring it out. I want to see it. I want to see it. So she does. She brings it out. And I mean, literally, some pillowcase like this, and I bring it out. And I was just like, wow. If you know anything about guitars, it's not a really nice one. But to me, it was. I was like, wow, you can have that. That's got to be mine. And so my grandmother told me, she said, you know what, if you'll learn how to play it, you know, because they always give you that incentive, right? If you'll learn how to play it, you can have it. And you might as well have set me on fire. I was so thrilled. I was so excited. I remember we went down to the music shop, they put strings on it. I began to jam away. It was fun, wasn't it? Parents. Jam away. Just jam away. And night after night after night, 12 years old. I remember writing songs at 12 years old about Jesus. Man, it was good. And I remember just wanting so bad just to play that guitar. And just play that guitar. And I learned and I still play. And I just learned and I poured myself into it. And I said, God, this is what I want to do. And at 15, I was at a church camp. I was like, God, I want to live for you, but I can't be a preacher. Yes, says here. Yes, says here. I said, I am not a preacher, God. That's not who I am. My brother was a preacher. I was like, that's not me. I can't be what I've seen. I can't be like that. So what did God do? He knew what I needed. So he called me and 3 other guys to start a band. So before I was 16 years old, before I could drive, before any of that, I was scheduling places for my band to play and traveling with my Christian band to play at churches and to talk about Jesus. Now, we were terrible. That didn't matter. We're not going to talk about how terrible we were. We were terrible. But we did. We shared Jesus, and everywhere we went, people got saved. And it was a mighty, mighty thing in my life. I could see God moving. And for the next several years, I would play the guitar, and I would go with one band to the next, and go in. Man, I probably played hundreds of people. I know I have. Thousands probably over that time. 19 years invested in the guitar, playing shows, doing things, going places. God opened doors. Led the worship team at Edgewood. Started the worship band there. Edgewood Church dancing there. And then finally, they made me the worship pastor. And I thought, this is what I want in life, God. This is where I am. This is where I'm going. And the whole time, God is just opening one door to the next, 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 one door. And I'm like, okay, I'm the worship pastor now. And then out of nowhere, God says, okay. Somebody calls me up and says, hey, man, would you come try out to be our pastor? And I'm like, no. This is what I do. This is who I am. But what I realized is that in that time that I was playing the guitar, I taught Sunday school for youth. I taught it for college and career. I taught an adult class. I led an outreach ministry to the city of Anniston. I went and spoke at different churches for different events. Never called myself a preacher, but I spoke at different places. And God was fulfilling His purpose in my life through a guitar in a pillowcase in a closet. It's miraculous. It really is. And then, at just the right time, God said, now I want you to be a preacher. Now I want you to be a preacher. Now I want you to be a pastor. And I was ready when He called. Because I listened to Him here. He took me to the next level, to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. How sad it is to live a life with a pulse, but to never have a purpose. To never have a purpose. Let me show you something. You can make baseball your purpose, that's fine. Look here. Baseball is simply my platform to elevate Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. Wherever you're at, whatever you're doing. Maybe it's baseball. Maybe it's a radio show. Maybe it's plumbing, like Caden does, who's reaching more people for Jesus than I probably ever will. It's just my platform to elevate Jesus Christ. The Lord loves you. The Lord your God is in your midst, the mighty one who will save you. He will rejoice over you with gladness. He will quiet you by His love, and He will exult over you with loud singing. I will say that when I read that loud singing, I thought of that clip from the movie Elf, where he's in the store. He's doing the singing. Yeah. I thought loud singing. It just came to my mind. Sorry. But I thought, God is going to sing over me, man, while I'm sleeping. At the end of my day, when I'm tired, God is going to sing over me. And being a guy who loves guitar, I love that God would use singing to express His love for me. How about this? Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Don't you want to be pure this morning? Don't you want to be pure this morning? Don't you want God to take you somewhere that you didn't know you was going to go, to do something that you didn't know you was going to do? I had no idea when I found a guitar in a pillowcase in my grandmother's closet that I would get to stand before you today. I get to go to the places that I've been and do the things I do. But praise God that when He gives you a pulse, He gives you a purpose. And if you find God, you'll find His purpose. Randy, would you come this morning? I give you the greatest offer ever today. I give you the greatest offer ever that you've ever had today. And that's a chance to meet Jesus. And a chance to find what your purpose is. Some of you guys are very talented. You're going to go on. You're going to play college ball somewhere. You're going to make a lot of people happy watching you do what you do. And you've got some great coaches who are pouring their very self into you that you get a small fraction of time to spend with, and they're going to impact you for a lifetime. But let me tell you, unless you find Jesus and you anchor in Him, you're never going to know the true purpose that you have. And I tell you, He's got more money than you'll ever make on a ball field. Let's stand together this morning. If you're here this morning and you say, I don't even know necessarily what it means to find Jesus or to know Jesus, I'm going to give you this opportunity this morning to do that. We're going to open up the altars here in a minute. And if you have never said yes to Jesus and you feel like right now in your life that He's brought you to this place, He's brought you to this opportunity for such a time as this to do something great and mighty and awesome with your life. Today is your day, my friend. Or maybe you say, man, I have known Jesus in the past. I have said that I accepted Christ. I have said that I want to be His. But man, I just don't live right. I'm just doing a lot of foul things. Well, what about this morning? Why don't we turn from that lifestyle and start living a lifestyle that has some value to it? Because life's not forever. Life's not forever. You can only play so long. Adults too. We can only play so long. Who is going to set the standard this morning? They're going to sing. And as they sing, I invite you, if you would like to know Jesus this morning like you've never known Him before, if you'd like to turn away from the life you've been living, I want you to come down this morning. Some of our guys are going to gather around you. They're going to pray for you. They're going to lead you this morning. But today is an opportunity for this moment in time. God put you here to hear this message. And I don't know why, but He does. Don't turn away from Him. Listen as they sing. Come this morning, would you?
Glory in creation.
that's you this morning, would you raise your hand? Say, there's nothing wrong with being honest and saying, hey, sometimes I mess up. It's okay. It's fine. I do too. All right, you can put those hands down. But I want to pray for you individuals this morning. God, move powerfully. Make our desire for you more than our desire for ourselves and our selfish ways, God. Make us want you more than we want the things that we're tripping over. More than we want the things that are keeping us from life and life more abundantly, God. And today, God, let this be a moment in time, a marker for us, that we look back and say, that moment right there, I decided to live all out, reckless abandon for the glory of God, to change me and to change others. We exalt you, we lift you up, and we praise you. In your name I pray. Randy, will you sing? And Weaver, I wish you the best of luck. I don't know who to wish more luck since y'all play each other frequently. But I wish you all the best of luck. If I can get some of the men from Cornerstone to get in the back so that we can help lead people the right way. I know our hallways are kind of zigzagging and hard to find. But we want you to stay for dinner. We have a lot of food, and we want to treat you today. We want to spend some time with you. We want to honor you and your commitment to the team and your families and all of Cornerstone people. We want you to stay and meet them. But we're going to pray for the food, and then we're going to be dismissed this morning. And these guys will show you where to go. But go and eat to your heart is content. They have worked hard, and we just want to bless you that way. So let me pray for the food. God, we love you. We praise you. We lift you up. Bless this food, God. Thank you for a wonderful day in your house, God. Bless these teams and all the players that represent these teams, God, and the coaches and the staff where they're at, God. Use them for your kingdom, God. Thank you for this food, God. Blessed to your kingdom. In your name I pray. Amen.